Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back talking about Hyperliquid in today's video. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button below, hit that subscribe button as well, and if you want to get notified, smash that bell notification icon, and make sure to grab your completely free gift, The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked below in the description. Get it now, and let's talk about hype. So, excuse the pun, but yes, there has been a lot of hype around Hyperliquid, and we've seen some tremendous growth and stability in price action over the past few months since the launch of the Hyperliquid Perpetual Trading DEX and Layer 1 blockchain solution. And again, if we come over to DeFi Llama, technically from a DeFi perspective, Hyperliquid is the 14th largest DEX and protocol by total value locked. So we're seeing about $653 million of DeFi TVL and over $2.5 billion of bridged TVL here on Hyperliquid in March of 2025. Again, look at this number, plus 65% in 1 month change for the amount of total value locked in Hyperliquid. And that's a pretty stark contrast when you compare it to the outflows and the decreasing TVL from many of the other leading protocols and networks here in DeFi, largely due to the price of Bitcoin pulling back over the past few weeks. So Hyperliquid, huge growth happening from an on-chain perspective and also from a DeFi perspective with increasing TVL over time. I actually think this TVL was higher a few weeks ago, and I do think Hyperliquid got into the top 10 in terms of total value locked at one point. Zooming out here, I think possibly some point here, it could have even been in the immediate aftermath of their launch. It might have been back in earlier in December, or maybe with this initial run up at the very beginning of February. I do feel like Hyperliquid was a little bit higher up the pecking order when it comes to total TVL in DeFi. Nonetheless, this is some pretty fantastic growth since the launch of Hyperliquid back in late November, early December, shooting all the way up to 450 million in TVL before a small decline and another leg all the way up to having about $650 million worth of TVL where we're sitting at today. Again, we have done other videos about Hyperliquid on the channel, guys. I will leave a link to those videos in the top of the screen here for you to check out. We also did a price prediction video for Hyperliquid. So we're not going to be talking about price predictions today, but drop me a comment. Do you want to see an updated price prediction video for Hyperliquid by the peak of the bull cycle? Drop me a comment if you want to see that, and I will put it together in the next week or two. So what's been happening? Well, over here on Hyperliquid, you can essentially trade perpetuals. You can long and short all these different assets in the crypto space. And again, giving you the opportunity to use very large amounts of leverage is something these decentralized exchanges profit from. So be very, very careful when you're actually using leverage if you're doing perpetual trading. Personally, I wouldn't be doing anything more than 2 to 3, maybe 4x, but these protocols give you the option, even if we just look at an example here for Solana, to use huge amounts of leverage when you're doing these particular positions. So using 20, 30, 40, 50x leverage is huge. And it means the liquidation price for your perpetual trade is going to be very, very close to the spot price of the asset when you enter the trade. So be very, very careful using high amounts of leverage. You want to be doing technicals and being very confident in the directional movement where the asset is going to go next, because otherwise you're going to get liquidated very, very quickly, and Hyperliquid are going to take all of your money. So be very, very careful. Doing perpetual trading is not for the faint of heart and definitely not for beginners. So make sure you do some research, do some training on perpetual trading so you know what you're doing if you're getting into this as a newbie. Okay, jumping over to the vaults area, we can see they've also got the Hyperliquidity provider HLP vault, which is generating yield. It is a yield-bearing counterparty risk token because essentially these HLP holders are providing the counterparty risk for all of the perpetual traders on the Hyperliquid DEX. So you're going to see the price of that token increasing over time thanks to the opening, closing costs and borrowing fees, or the funding rate that these perpetual traders are having to pay for executing all these different perpetual trades on Hyperliquid. So this vault is very similar to the JLP vault over on the Jupiter decentralized exchange on the Solana network, and it earns passive yield if you want to purchase it, hold it, and generate yield for yourself by acting as that counterparty for the traders on Hyperliquid. So again, Hyperliquid had a huge run up in price initially when we had the launch of the protocol, and currently it is still actually sitting, if I search for it here on CoinMarketCap, above Uniswap as technically the largest decentralized exchange in the crypto space. We're sitting at a $6.5 billion overall market cap for Hyperliquid. And when we put that in context, it's interesting to think about Hyperliquid and what they're doing, because they're not just a decentralized exchange, they're a DEX allowing you to execute and trade perpetuals, but they've also built their own layer 1 blockchain to act as the foundation for everything that they've built on top. So there was problems last time I was doing a video on Hyperliquid where there was only 4 validators for the entire layer 1 blockchain. So technically it's not very decentralized. Maybe that's something they're working on. Drop me a comment below if you know that, or if you know any updates on that. I will do another breakdown of Hyperliquid and some of the stuff happening under the hood from the layer 1 perspective in a separate video. But obviously, as they grow, they're going to probably want to make that more decentralized in order to appeal to crypto and Bitcoin maxis. So looking at the price of Hyperliquid, this is what has kind of impressed me most over the past few weeks, because what you've seen is, despite the fact that Bitcoin has completely pulled back from these areas around 99,000, we went from $99,000 per Bitcoin down to $78,000 in a 7-day period. That pullback alone on a percentage basis is roughly a 20% pullback and a 20% drawdown in a very short period of time. And the rest of the market, many alts, are down multiples of that. Many alts are down 30, 40, even 50% in the past few weeks. But Hyperliquid has actually held relatively strong here at the $20 level. So we're right at $19.69 as we speak, making this video. But that level at $19.69, around $20, has held as very strong support over the past couple of months. You can see here all the way back in mid-January when we came down to this level, it acted as very strong support. We kept bouncing off of it, moving to the upside. That uptrend then broke down, but notice how this is, we're holding here very strong for the price action of Hyperliquid. And again, that could bode pretty well for setting up this new area of consolidation before we begin to actually move higher. So again, not financial advice, guys. Check out Hyperliquid for yourself and make sure you do your own research. But again, buying or scooping some up here in this zone, if it's going to be acting as this strong level of support that we don't get to break below, it could be presenting itself as a nice buying opportunity. Not financial advice. Do your own research as always. Let me know, guys, do you want an updated price prediction for Hyperliquid on the channel? We did do a price prediction for Hype a few weeks ago. I said that it could go beyond $200 by the peak of the bull cycle, but if you want me to run the numbers again, do an updated price prediction, drop a comment below this video if you want to see that. I think Hyperliquid, is making its own category almost here in the crypto space, being a decentralized perpetual DEX and having its own layer 1 blockchain. It's doing some pretty revolutionary things, and I'm excited to see where that growth can take it for the rest of 2025. Today's video, guys, is sponsored by Femex, the most efficient crypto trading and investment platform. I'm going to leave a link below this video for Femex. It is a referral link. Use it if you want. Don't use it if you don't. I really don't mind. Again, do your own research when trading or when exercising any kind of investment in this crypto space. It is extremely volatile, so make sure to do your own research and proceed with caution. That is it for today's video, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you got any value at all, please give it a thumbs up below. It would mean the world if you smash that thumbs up button, because it really helps with the algorithm. It helps spread the good word of the crypto space, and make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it. We're dropping videos pretty much every single day on the channel, so make sure to subscribe, smash the bell notification icon so you can get notified every time a video drops. And don't forget to grab your completely free copy, The Rise of Bitcoin. If you're a beginner, it's going to be helpful, so make sure to grab it down below, completely free, and we'll catch you in the next one.